Month-to-month leases are not always a good thing. That is the subject of this video. This is Commercial Real Estate Explained, where we help business owners make informed decisions about their commercial real estate. So this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about month-to-month leases. Very frequently, I will talk to business owners and I'll ask them about, their commercial real estate and what their situation is. And they'll say, oh, I'm on a month-to-month lease. It's great. Whenever I hear month-to-month lease, I get a little nervous on their behalf. They may not be nervous, but for me, it makes me a little nervous. A month-to-month lease is a double-edged sword. I know some business owners like it because they feel like they're not locked into a long-term commitment. It gives them that sense of flexibility, like they could leave whenever they want. Month to month is great when you're talking about cell phone plans, but when you're talking about your commercial space that's essential to how you make your livelihood, I would be a lot more nervous about a month-to-month lease. Of course, if you're a single private office user, you don't have a big operation, month to month, that's totally fine. But if you've got employees and clients and specific things you need to do in your commercial space, month-to-month leases make me nervous. Oftentimes, tenants only think about month-to-month leases from their own perspective. It's like, oh, I can leave here whenever I want to, no problem. If I decide that, I want to move somewhere else, I just give my landlord notice. The problem is sometimes you see these tenants on month-to-month leases for years and years and years. And that's great as long as no one upsets the status quo. Where a month-to-month lease gets scary is when your landlord, has his friend opens up a business and needs commercial space and says, oh, well, I'm looking at my rent roll right here and, oh yeah, this tenant's on a month-to-month lease. So, I can just give them notice and you can take their space. All of a sudden, depending on what your lease says, you may have 30 days to relocate your business. That is stressful. That is not anything anyone wants to do. My advice when you're looking for commercial space is to give yourself at least 6 months, if not 9, to run a proper search, find the right location, negotiate with several properties, have ample time to look at your lease. If you take what should be a 6 to 9 month search and put it into 30 days, all the while having to move and having to change your address and all of those things, that is just not a situation that you want to be in. So I know some landlords prefer month-to-month leases. It works both ways, obviously. If you're a landlord and you have a month-to-month lease, you could lose your tenant any month. You get 30-day notice and all of a sudden you have a vacancy to fill. I don't think that's great for you as a landlord either, because it's probably going to take you longer than 30 days to find another tenant. So it really is a double-edged sword. My recommendation, whenever possible, if you need to keep that flexibility, sign 1-year leases one at a time. Obviously, the shorter lease you do, the least amount of leverage you're going to have in your negotiation. Most landlords like to have long leases because it's stability. They don't have to worry about you leaving or finding another tenant. But if you really do need flexibility and you want to do something short term, I suggest doing something more like a year, where you can at least know that you're going to be somewhere for 9 months. And then, 3 months before your lease is up, start talking to your landlord about extending. Don't wait until the last minute to talk to them about it, because if you wait until week 11 of a 12-month lease, that might as well be a month-to-month lease, because you could get told, oh, sorry, the tenant next door needs your space, so you got to be out. Once again, lease lengths and lease end dates are some things that business owners don't like to think about, but it is something that really can affect you negatively if you're not careful. On top of maybe a 1-year lease, the other thing you could do is ask your landlord for a rolling 60 or 90-day notice. If you really, really need that flexibility, or if your landlord doesn't want to sign a lease with you that's longer term for some reason, doing a 60 or 90-day rolling termination where either party can terminate with 60 or 90-day notice, that should be a lot better for you, because that's much better than a total fire drill. 60 to 90 days is also tough to find space in, but it's actually doable. 30 days, unless you have a really, really small business or don't need much office space, is going to be stressful and very hard for you to find a replacement value. So the whole point of this video is anybody out there on month-to-month leases should give that a little more thought. It doesn't need to be this big thing. If you have a commercial real estate broker, have them approach your landlord and say, hey, We love the building. We'd like to get a little more stability here. The other thing is that if you've been on a month-to-month lease, let's say your flooring is 10 years old and it looks terrible. Maybe you can go to your landlord and say, hey, I've been on this month-to-month lease. I like the building. I'm willing to commit to, I don't know, let's say 3-4 years on the lease, but I'd like you to redo the carpet here. That's something that you can talk to them about. If you're on a month-to-month lease and you ask them to redo anything in your space, they're going to say absolutely no. So once again, at the end of the day, month-to-month really can hurt you as a landlord and as a tenant. So just be careful when you're on those and realize that at any given day, you could get 30-day notice and have to move your business. So just keep that in mind. Thanks for tuning into this video. This is Commercial Real Estate Explained. We help business owners make informed decisions about commercial real estate. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe. We really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week.